Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We have here, this is a 17 I think or 18 Range Rover with the supercharged V6, but this is valid on the V8 also supercharged. And I want to show you what is this infamous coolant leak that always makes these engines blow up head gaskets. So there are several weak spots in this engine. It's not the block, technically it's not the actual engine, the metal parts, but it's the rest of the parts around the engine and especially on the coolant system. So the major first thing that I have seen leaking all the time is this water pump. So the water pump sits, this is the water pump, I took it out yesterday. This water pump sits right in here. It mounts to these two spots and it connects in the back to this I would say little pipe hose that connects to the oil cooler. This is the adapter that actually connects to that pipe there. So this, because of being plastic, it has two seals. It has one seal on the inside and another seal in the back, which actually fits there. They're the same kind of seals. Either you will see these two seals getting smashed and kind of disintegrating, or the two seals plus this adapter kind of disintegrating and cracking and leaking. This is the seal that was in the back here, and as you can see, I actually had a hard time taking it off, and you will see, look at the amount of destruction that this seal has. This seal was leaking. So that thing in the middle is the smashed ridge, and this is how the seal is supposed to look like. I mean, pay attention to the difference. That's what these seals are, that's the difference. Left is new, right is smashed. So I already have a video on this repair from a few years back, but I'm just trying to give you an advisory. When you're looking for this coolant, crazy, insane, hidden coolant leak, what would be wrong with your car, your Range Rover? So when you order these, whether you do it or the mechanic, you can get this pump. It's available from another company, and it's made in Germany. You don't need to get the OEM one. The company is this thing called Jeba. And this is a made in Germany pump. It's probably the same, if not even better than this pump. So the next thing is this pipe, and the next thing is the actual water pump itself. They will leak around 80 or 90,000 miles, because remember, this engine is made by Ford or Ford parts. I'm not sure how much, what extent, but as you can see, it says Ford Motor Company, and it's all over the parts. On all these parts, they have the branding of Ford. So these pumps, whether it's on this engine or even the normal Ford, the Explorers, the 3.5 twin turbo engine and the 3.7, their pumps will leak at 90,000 miles on the clock. It's almost like someone programmed those pumps to start leaking. So when you do this job, you always replace the pump, because you're already opening the pump anyway. Don't be cheap. Just replace the pump. It's not expensive. They're around 200 bucks, 180 to 200 bucks to something. And just replace it, and make sure you get this pipe here. So when you're replacing this pipe, you need to get, it's recommended to get the metal one, not the plastic. This is a metal one made by Euro parts. It's aluminum, and as you can see, it has a seal in the front that goes into the pump, and another one is the one here that you have to buy separately that goes into this piping here. And when you install these, you have to grease these two. You have to make sure you grease them very well, otherwise you will never be able to get them in, or you will smash this rubber in the wrong place and it will start leaking before even, you start the car. When you put the coolant and you start the car, it'll start leaking and you will be pissed, because you have to open this again. Make sure you grease these, and the grease will preserve these seals anyway. I have other videos on this deal that I've been testing for years, and the grease does magic to these O-rings. So the adapter, the pump. Okay, the next thing is the really bad design of this engine is there's a pipe here on this specific engine, one here, and that is this pipe, is this thing here. So this thing here has an updated design. I don't know if this is updated or not, but the original one from the factory had a crack here, or where it was molded together, it'll crack and it'll start leaking. So because being so far, so close to the engine, this piping will start disintegrating here because the heat, and the O-ring will melt. That's one hidden leak that nobody can actually see, because it's right next to this pipe here, and you cannot tell whether it's leaking from here or these two until you start taking everything apart. And sometimes even after taking this apart, you may not be able to tell. So you have to order these and just replace them anyway. They're plastic, just to make sure that you do the job properly, because you're there anyway. You have to replace this. And then the second part, this is a second part that goes on top of this pipe here. You have to replace this one because those used to explode here underneath. This one may be an updated one from what I can see, but I'm going to replace it anyway because this is the original part that came on the car. So you replace these two. Don't hesitate. Don't be cheap again. Do the job once. Do the job right. And the last thing that is kind of a crazy deal to show you, there is a U shape, or I call it a P, is the mathematical sign P. There's a pipe here that connects the two heads. So this is the pipe right there. It goes here and goes back there and goes inside here, right here. So it's in the shape of P, and there's a valve back there. So this pipe is famous for also leaking, because that right there, as you can see, if you touch this and it's kind of getting white, if you touch it with a finger and it's white like this, that plastic is gone. It means it's going to disintegrate very, very soon. And as you can see, the other side is also the same way. Let me try to zoom. You see, that pipe is actually gone. Actually, we have a crack on the top. So unfortunately, this pipe would need to be replaced. This truck has about 80,000 miles, and this pipe here is very famous for leaking. It has two O-rings. They're right here, and they're also kind of smashed, as you can see. But the major problem is that crack right there that I have. And I took it today just to check it. It wasn't leaking before I took it apart, but that is about to explode and start leaking. And since I'm doing all these things here, that pipe has to be replaced also. So again, those are pretty much, so we have, what do we have? One, the water pump. Two, the adapter leaking. Those are two parts. Then we have 3 and 4 parts, and then it's the fifth, the one that the P shape or U shape pipe in the back. Those are the 5 things that will go bust. It will leak around the same time, maybe a little difference in the time. But if you're doing this job, if your mechanic is doing the job, you need to recommend him to do all of these and ask him to do all of these, because if you do one and then you put it together and the pressure in the system goes higher because of new parts, new pump, all this stuff, and all of a sudden this P pipe in the back explodes, he's gonna have to do that job twice, and he's gonna charge you twice for the labor, because you have to pull the supercharger, and that's not a joke. All this stuff here, there is a supercharger here. And also the 6th thing that I have seen leaking also majorly is this thermostat here. you have to replace also the thermostat when you do this job, so don't forget the thermostat. And always check these pipes. I've seen these pipes getting cut from being on the engine, from the heat. They will start disintegrating at the corners here. So it's actually 6 things that will go bad on these. Then so you know, when you have a slow leak on these engines, the 3-liter supercharged and the V8 supercharged. The V8 has a little different system because it has a this upper pipe is here, but the bottom pipe, this one has like a valve, so it's a little bit different, but it's technically has a very similar system of how everything is set up, and they will start leaking the same way. And this is it, guys. Hopefully you get some guidance on what's going on with this engine, so you understand what actually happens and what to look for if you have a problem with this, you know, overheating or slow coolant leak on these engines. And you need to find the proper mechanic to do this stuff for you. And again, don't be cheap. Get the stuff done, get it properly, get it done once, and for the next 90,000 miles, 100,000 miles, so you don't have any more problems. Okay, guys, again, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for the next videos, and please like my videos and please subscribe. Thank you. Thanks very much.